Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
We're letting it bother us, aren't we?
We sure are. Yeah, I hate this LIV. I gotta admit it. I hate this LIV, man.
Now Cameron Smith and Tommy Fleetwood are reported to be abdicating to the LIV Golf Tour.
The New York Post and Sky News. Sky News would have a pretty good source. I was telling you that a lot of these Euros and Australians and these international guys have the same agents or so, and they might be trying to put the pressure on to be treated. The whole Scottish Open thing, I think, kind of really got the LIV boys all fired up. And if you're an agent and you deliver a guy for $100 million, you get a cut, baby. They're probably all in favor of that. It's all about the money. So I don't know, but that would break my heart because I love watching that kid roll it, man. He is one of the great putters I've seen.
9 fewer putts yesterday than McIlroy. Well, 9 fewer.
Rory took 36 putts to play. He two-putted it 18 straight times. That ain't going to win any tournament, right? Certainly not that. Not the way that guy putts. But he might be. Spieth was the best player in the world for 4 years because he was a great putter. Mm-hmm. But this is better. I think this is amazing.
Did you hear Smith's post-game remarks?
No.
He's Dustin Johnson-esque.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if there's a lot going on there.
Not much going up there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, with that hairdo tells you all you got to know, right? I mean, he can't get a hairdo, get a haircut, for God's sakes. The mullet. You know what it reminded me of, though? It reminded me of the dude and Walter watching Jesus roll. Yeah. And when he said, that creep can really roll, man,
Yeah, but he's a pervert, dude.
Yeah, well, I said, that mullet can really roll, man, can he? And I don't think he's a pervert, but I would be very... very upset. I would go from rooting for him to rooting against him in a hurry if he plays this stupid LIV thing. So I'm not the PGA I don't see as sacred or anything, but it's stupid. 54 holes with the same 48 player field. It doesn't make any sense. And I looked at who the 48 are. There's about 15 recognizable names. Now there'll be 17 or 18. I suppose the payoff for Cameron Smith, though, instead of getting $50 million to go, he's probably getting $150 because he run the
after
British
yesterday.
Open. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Fleetwood, I don't know how much he's getting, but
I don't see him winning a major. Do you?
Not really, but they like bad haircuts, I guess.
He had a great tournament. Fleetwood finished tied for fourth.
Mm-hmm. Rory, you know who said this to me about 7 years ago? Korzeniowski. Korzeniowski said Rory will never win a Masters because he can't putt. Mm-hmm. And he had 4 majors 9 years ago, and he still has 4. Mm-hmm. And St. Andrews, you're not going to win there unless you can putt, and you're not going to win the Masters unless you can putt. And he can win a U.S. Open. And he can win a PGA when the courses are set up real tough, and there aren't a lot of birdies. But he doesn't make enough hot putts to win at 20 under. That's for sure. So
I know I said this before, but no one loves the history of golf more than I do. No one loves the traditions more than I do, and the whole setting at St. Andrews is wonderful. That's a dog park.
Yes, it is.
The dog park.
They do. They go walk dogs there.
Yeah, my kid was there. He told me after school the kids just walk across the course to go home.
Yeah, right.
It's a dog park.
Yeah, the dogs are down on the beach, and once in a while they throw something up and they'll run across the court. But here's the other deal. Here's what drives me crazy. The ball runs like a scared gopher.
Oh,
right?
man.
But you can hit the perfect drive, and if it decides to take a bad bounce, it'll go another 100 yards. And
The
then
wrong way.
All of a sudden, it'll land in a pot.
Right.
You know, in their bunkers, they were too lazy to build bunkers. They just got holes. You know, it's just like there's just this.
It's like a bombed out craters.
Yeah, right. It looks like they had bombing practice. Maybe they did have bombing practice there for World War II or something. But yeah, it's that's what drives me crazy is if your ball decides it wants to go in one of those pots, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know, I guess they hit it away from them, but.
I watched it. I couldn't tear myself away.
I never thought Rory was going to win because he wasn't making any putts. Mm-hmm. I said this earlier. Tom Lehman hit the ball closer to the hole than anybody in the world for about 4 years. It was unbelievable, 4 or 5. He was in the last group at the U.S. Open 4 straight years.
Yep.
But the official battle cry of the Tom Lehman Gallery was, ooh, the putt that didn't go in. And that was Rory yesterday. They're all going to be close.
Yeah.
But you got to put them in, they got to go in.
Right.
If they don't go in, I always tell the story about Tom at Congressional. He has the amazing round, and there was a rain delay, and he has the amazing round, I think on, was it Saturday morning, Sunday morning maybe, and he's in the lead, and he hits, and they turn number 10 into a par 4, even though it was a par 5. And he hits this iron approach shot, 4-iron or something, like a rifle, 7 feet under the hole. Greatest shot you ever saw, misses the putt.
Yep.
You're under the hole. You got to make a 7-footer when you're trying to win the U.S. Open. And that was the same thing with Rory. How about when he had his last big chance on 16, right? When he hits it up there, makes a great shot, he's off to the right. Remember, was it 16? Mm-hmm. Or maybe it was 17. But his last chance didn't come close.
Right.
Didn't come close to making it. He missed it by 4 or 5 inches. So, I don't know.
All right, whatever.
But it was.
What about the 3M field? Is it any good?
Nah, they're hurting, man.
Yeah.
They're hurting. There's 20 guys playing in the LIV that would be playing here.
Yep.
Patrick Reed would probably be playing here instead of he went for the money.
Yep.
This Cameron Smith would be the first one of these guys that would really shock me.
Yeah, because he's so young.
Yeah, young, and he just wanted 2.5. He just won 2.5.
Right.
Now, that's not too bad. That would. I mean, I agree with Tiger. What you're gonna play there's 20 tournaments that we like to watch every year, and this ain't gonna be one of them.
No,
the LIV is not gonna be one of them.
I don't have it on my radar.
Don't you want to?
They don't even have a TV deal.
No, they got a streaming
with
thing,
900 different cable, television sports program networks. How did they not find one?
I don't know.
Is it because they all have a deal with the PGA? Is that probably why?
No, I don't know what it is. I wonder, do they want do you have? Maybe they're trying to make money streaming, although they don't care about money. So
how about Victory Sports? We should put it on Victory Sports.
I wish that when Biden talked to the Saudi prince, instead of talking about giving us more oil, he would have talked about getting rid of this LIV thing. Yeah. That's what I wish. That's more important to me.
Hey, Sheik.
That's more.
Before we get to that whole oil discussion,
this LIV deal.
Yeah, stop pouring that money down the toilet, for God's sakes, and then if you want to give us a little more oil, that'd be okay.
Does the early start time for the British Open, does that help TV ratings in any way?
I don't know if it helps. I think that.
Or does it not matter because it's a major?
Probably. I mean, it can't help. It can't help.
It's only a 6-hour time difference.
Here's our other problem. Even as a golf fan, it's always me saying, "Oh, crap! The British Open's on at 11 in the morning."
Right.
Instead of it's been on all night.
Because I always like the West Coast tournaments when they're on until
Oh, I love that.
7, 8 o'clock at night. I think
Well,
those
hell,
are
you
good.
can play it.
Yeah, they don't have to tee off early there.
No,
They
right.
You can play till 10.
They'd just be finishing for
They're
God's
way
sake.
north.
Oh,
They're up
yes.
there?
They're up there.
They are. They are. Scotland's
You can get
way up
there. It's up there.
Did you know what I did the other night? Jim and I did the other night just for geese. He's at our place for a while, and we went back and watched the Robin Williams video. Robin Williams
Oh,
talking
my
about
God.
golf and doing the great Scottish accent of how he is right. I have a better chance figuring out what a Spanish speaker is trying to say than a Scotsman.
Right.
You know, if you don't have the CC caption on a movie that's made in Scotland, you don't have any idea. I mean, Pitt did a great impersonation of a Scotsman in Snatch, the movie Snatch. Did you ever see that?
No,
Pitt? Oh,
I didn't.
It's hilarious.
Realize how drunk they get. They could wear a skirt and not game. And how they could invent a sport like golf.
Yes.
Here's my idea for a sport. I knock a ball in a gopher hole. Oh, you mean like pool? Not with a straight stick, with a little stick. I whack the ball that goes in a gopher hole. Oh, you mean like croquet? Croquet. I put the hole hundreds of yards away. Oh, it's great fun there. Oh, yeah, that's a great thing. Oh, like a bowling thing. Oh, not straight, I put it away. Like trees and bushes and high grass, so you can loosen ball and go whacking away with higher iron. Whacking away, and each time you miss, you feel like you're gonna have a stroke. Oh, we'll call it a stroke, because every time you miss, you feel like you're gonna die. Oh, great. Oh, and here's a bit of fact. Oh, this is brilliant. Right near the end, I'll put a flat piece with a little flag to give you hope. But then I'll put a pool and a sandbox to put your ball again. You'll be there trashing your ass, jerking away in the sand. Oh, and you do this one time. No! 18 times!
And we
How
can't
did you
play.
get all the-
Oh my!
How
It
did
took
you
a
get
lot of
all the
surgery.
profanity? I mean, he swears.
It's so much better when it has the profanity
Yes,
in it.
right.
Years ago, we played audio.
Because Scotsmen are the greatest
Oh,
swearers
yes.
of all time.
Well, years ago, we played audio of an Irish kid going to school in the winter. It was a real news
Oh yes,
audio.
yes.
Is there any chance we still have that? I wonder.
don't know.
I don't know what it would be
Is this
called.
when there's-
But you couldn't understand him either.
All
No.
right, okay, yeah.
Because it was the one
That's
where the
20
dad
below.
says,
No,
"Are you
just
winding
the
him
kid.
up?" Oh, it was just the kid.
Yeah,
All right.
at a bus stop or something, and it was hilarious. We didn't understand one word the kid was saying. He's talking about how cold it was.
You know, this guy was. He was the second coming of Jonathan Winters. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
were apparently like this, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonathan Winters was his hero. But
and they were both nuts.
yeah, they were. Yeah, I mean, certifiable.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonathan Winters had several nervous breakdowns.
Right.
But seemed like a lovable guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think Robin Williams would drive you out of the room,
Yeah.
probably. But
You can go to old Johnny Carson YouTube and see when Robin and Jonathan are on the same night.
Johnny has no chance. Right?
Oh God, it's just hilarious.
So you reminded me. I found this video. This was last week, and it's just labeled. It's a man on the street deal.
Yeah.
Over there across the pond.
Yeah.
And this is the greatest 30-second story of all time.
I was in a town before called Langan Village, it was called. And basically there was a young lad and he looked awful similar to me. I thought I was fighting in a mirror, right? Come outside the nightclub, I was like, do I know you from somewhere? And he goes, do I know you? Do you know? And he had a Celtic jersey on, but he had the green and yellow one, right? And I was about to throw a punch. And then he looked at me in the eyes and I go, he goes, am I your father? I said to him. And he goes to me, am I your son? And we just hugged it out. Turns out that no relation at all, and I just headbutted him and he got taken away.
Because he was a different team. Huh?
Right. Yeah,
It was a different team.
It was a different team.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The soccer is, you know.
Do I know you from somewhere? Turns out there was no relation at all. So I
Pat, the
headbutted him.
boys got 70 games left.
Yeah, I'm not optimistic.
I'm
No,
not
they got
either.
68 left. 68.
Well, they're 50 and 44.
That's
That's 94.
that's 68. They play 100.
They only play 162, Joe.
They play 162.
I did the subtraction. I subtracted 94.
That's why Pat's the math guy.
Oh, 4 from 12 was 8, not 0.
Yeah,
68.
68.
Hey, but we held them to 29 runs and the 3 losses to the Whiteys.
Okay, I went
They
off
look
this
good.
one.
They look good, the Whiteys.
They're finally waking up. You know what? Everybody in America said the White Sox are going to win the American League Central, and they played like jerks for 3 months. Everybody was right. They're going to win the. They're going to win the division, no doubt about it. And this team, Joe, I kind of like the team. Their catching's down now with Sanchez being the only guy left. They got first baseman, they're fine. They got Polanco's great, Correa's great. They're okay at third. Buxton, starting all-star, even if he's only hitting .215.
Right.
And Kepler's he's having a better year. And their lineup's good enough. But their pitching sucks.
It's a very benign group, isn't it?
No, the pitching's terrible.
Yeah.
This is not a pitching staff that has a chance to survive. It is not a pitch. There's a crusty old manager out here in Maplewood, Minnesota,
Right.
who will tell you when you go through it all, the only thing that really counts is pitching, and they ain't got it.
Nope.
They don't have it.
Nope.
And the other thing, I was talking about this a little earlier today. We talked about it last week. You can't make your pitching decisions at 1 o'clock in the afternoon as to who's going to pitch. You got to wait and see how the guy's pitching. It's,
I went nuts the other day when Joe Ryan was having a decent game. He hasn't been great lately, but he was having a decent game, and they hooked him. 4 1/3. And nobody was on base, and they pulled him.
I don't like.
Why
the way the
are they
game's
doing
going.
things like that?
I just don't like the way the game's going.
I think we're doing it. Tampa does that too. But I think we're doing it more than the Twins are doing it more than anybody. This pre-planned hook 'em, don't let them face the hitters for the third time, and somebody's gone completely amok in the pitching brain surgery.
Will there ever be another 20-game winner?
Yeah, there will be.
How?
but,
You're not allowed to stay in long enough.
Not here, but someplace. I don't know who's leading the league.
I was just going to look that up.
Somebody's got to have 11 or 12, maybe. But there won't be many. There'll never be another 300-game winner from this collection.
No.
There probably might not be another 250 or 220.
This is ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
And I don't like the wardrobe guy either. That drives me crazy.
What?
Well, the guy gets to first, he needs a wardrobe guy to hand him all his crap. Elbow pads and knee pads and
right.
ankle pads. And
I remember when Kelly was raising hell about, he called it the armor.
Yeah.
Because people could lean over and get hit and stuff like that. And there was some movement about they were going to take that away. Now they got more of that stuff on than they've ever had.
I'm surprised they don't bring a rack out there to hang the stuff on. I don't like it.
True.
Then if the guy gets to second, it's even more of a pain in the ass because you got to go out there and get handed the
Yeah, if
wardrobe.
he hits a double,
Yeah.
If he hits a double, yeah.
Julio Urias for the Dodgers did win 20 games last year.
Was he the only
He was
one?
the only one because Adam Wainwright was second in the
You're
National
never going
League.
to see a 20-game winner anymore.
Who's leading the majors right now?
Right now, I don't have that in front of me, but last year in the American League, it was Garrett Cole with 16, and there were 3 guys.
16 led?
Yes, and there were 3 guys with 14 for second
Somebody
place.
from the Yankees has got to win 20 because the team's going to win 120.
Verlander won 21 for the Stros in 2019. Obviously, 2020 was a short season.
But, even in 3 years, things have changed dramatically.
We had 4 in 2018 and 2019 combined. Verlander and Snell each won 21.
But this
Cole
year,
and
why don't
Kluber
you
won
look
20.
up this year?
My hope is that that they fall on their face because they're such dummies with their pitching. I've had it. This is ridiculous. This is not acceptable. And I am fully in favor of not bringing in any reinforcements because what you think you're going to accomplish by adding one pitcher to this mess?
You're not.
It's nothing. It's not
Verlander currently leads with 12 wins. Behind him, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Patrick, but is it Gonsolin from the Dodgers?
Yeah, he's going nuts.
He has
doesn't give
11
up.
wins. Wright for the Braves has 11 wins, and then there's a bunch of guys with 10.
Well,
you know
Verlander has a chance.
Verlander might get to 20. They're
he
good.
He doesn't leave. He pitches 7 1/3, 7 2/3. By the way, you know who's pitching good for the Saints?
Who?
Patricia.
Yeah, we're aware.
Yeah, I mean,
We were holding out hope, Pat. We were holding out hope.
But he's pitching good for a team that stinks pitching-wise. Their pitching is terrible.
Who, the Saints?
Yeah, and Patricia comes in, pitches the 8th, and gets them out all the time. But
And do they pretty much have the same philosophy at AAA as they do with the big league club?
well, no, because they give up 8 in the first 3 innings, so that kind of
Gotcha.
Balazovic was their hot prospect 3 years ago. He's terrible. I don't know what's wrong with him.
So they have to make a decision on.
Their pitching is not only bad in the major leagues. Their top 2 levels. They got one pitcher, a young pitcher that you might like, and he's not that young, Winder, who they sent down again, but he's 25 or 6.
Wasn't that what we were supposed to expect here in year 6 with Falvey and Levine?
Season 6, yeah. I mean, you can kind of write off. You can give them one extra year because the minor leaguers didn't play in 2000.
True.
But,
So that was their year 0. The
yes,
PJ
that
Fleck
was
year
year
0. Okay.
Yes.
What do you foresee in the final 68 games? A decline?
Yes, I see. Now, the greatest decline ever was 2011 when Mackey published the It's Happening surgery T-shirts, and they went 19-50. I don't. That was how they finished that season, 19-50. I don't see 19-50, but how far are they over? 7?
I think, yeah, I can pull up the standings
7?
here.
No. Well, it's an even numbered, so I guess it can't be 7. It'd have to be 6 or 8. Are they 6 games over 500? Right? They're not going to be 500. I think they're.
You don't think they're going to finish 500?
I do not think they're going to finish 500. My 79 and 83 is my prediction.
Wow.
I don't like them.
That's a
I
hot
can't
sports
help
take.
it. I don't like them. I don't like the team.
They are
objective.
50 and 44, sir.
Yep. Okay. So to get 29 and 39, 29 and 35, right? No. 29 and.
I'm not doing the
I gotta
math.
do the math.
I'm not doing it.
Okay, win 29 more out of 68. 29 and 39.
Hey,
They can do that. They
and
can
don't
do
look
it.
now, but my Mariners have been inspired.
14 in a row.
The
Did they
Reavers
win
road
again?
trip, that was their first.
Did they win again yesterday?
Yeah.
14 in a row.
Yes.
Wow.
Their first win was when we were in the stands at T-Mobile Park.
You led them off on this.
I did. I said, boys, the Reavers made the road trip out here. We need you to win one tonight.
I would imagine there's a lot of sport writers out there eating their words and all that. What was all this optimism about? By the way, Rodriguez, real deal, man.
Oh, he's good.
He's good, the rookie.
In fact, I remember listening to a Seattle sports radio show in which they said, to hell with the Mariners. We got to worry about how many games the Seahawks are going to lose this
That's
year.
right. They are.
Did you see the Seahawks stadium when you were there?
They're right next to each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's big open roof. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
nothing special.
Yeah.
They'll be wanting to have a new one here pretty
Oh, yeah,
soon.
yeah.
What does when does anybody have any idea when the Minnesota Vikings start training camp?
I believe it's a week from Thursday, if I'm not
Week from
mistaken.
Thursday.
I might have my dates
Okay.
wrong, but I do
So
know
that
one
would
team.
be damn near August then, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You know that the only good thing they got out of the last negotiations was they can't have them in training camp and OTAs and all that stuff as long. They have to give them an off season.
What's OTA stand for? Let me see if I can get it.
Here we go.
Off-season training activity?
Nope.
Training activity.
Yep.
Yes,
yep.
it is.
Optional.
No, there is an optional, but that's not what this one stands for.
Organized team activity.
There it is.
Instead
Organized
of
team activity.
unorganized
Right.
team activity.
Right.
And you know what they do?
They never used to do that.
You know what else they do? They make intentional decisions.
God, I love that. I love that. That
Intentional
sets you
decisions.
up.
I keep wondering what other
decision.
kind is there.
I do too. I keep.
Is there
wondering that.
an accidental decision?
Well, I've had some of those in college.
Yeah.
Accidental decisions that
Let's
were made.
face it. The last great man in American football was Harry Peter Grant. Because he hated training camp just as much as everybody else
Yep.
did. Always the last guy.
Yep.
Lynn had to get down on his knees and beg him to let him have a 3-day mini
he couldn't
camp.
stand it.
The mini camp. And the mini camp, they'd report on Thursday afternoon and he'd cancel the afternoon practice. They were done on noon on Saturday. That was everybody else was having the mini camps and trying to get them longer. And Bud, I would have loved to. Bud probably got another clause in his contract for more dough to agree to have a mini camp. He's, he had that cabin in Gordon. He didn't want to,
he
fish.
wanted to fish.
Yeah, what the hell? What I love most is the Saturday. They were the Saturday, last day of practice in the fall, late fall. Bud spent his whole time looking up to see if the ducks were flying down towards the river. And always home for dinner. It was only 10 minutes away, but
Well, he wasn't going to sleep in the office.
no, he was
That wasn't
not-
his deal.
Not going to sleep in the office because, he you know what he wouldn't have done? He wouldn't have hooked a pitcher based on some plan
That was done 4 hours
at
earlier.
1:30.
Yeah.
He would have waited to see how the old guy was chucking, right?
Yep.
He's now. You were the beat guy 1 year.
Yep.
How'd he treat you? He saved your life in Green Bay, but outside of that, how'd he treat you? Was he very puzzled by you? Because
kind of
you
a
weren't-
quasi mock like relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Like,
kind of.
why? What is
'Cause
this?
He had Sid and Ralphie
Yeah.
as cheerleaders,
Right.
and Chloe when he would show up.
And then
and
he had
stuff.
me, and he
had
didn't know
you.
what to do. He didn't know what to do with me.
Yeah, and then you cost him a third rounder.
I did, but I didn't mean to.
No.
You didn't know the rules?
No, but he, he would have.
Max Winter tried to save me. He took me to lunch and said, "Come on, you can have, you can get on board here. Everything will be fine." I said, I didn't even know what the hell he was talking about.
Right. What, you go to the games.
I cover the game.
And whatever happens is what you write about.
Right.
Not you don't have to protect the home team.
Remind me, how did he save your life in Green Bay?
Something happened to me after a Green Bay game where the floor was going up and down.
Okay.
I suppose today you'd call it a severe anxiety attack or something. And he said, "You get in the trainer's room right now." He just took a look at me, and he did that.
He could tell.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And I walked through there, and they were throwing crap at me, and it was just dreadful. But I got over that, whatever it was.
Now, why would they be offended with you? I mean, what did you do?
Ron Yeri was throwing shoes at me because I apparently was not kind enough to Tarkenton or something. I don't know. They were not fun to cover.
No, they were. Although they got worse after you.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't want to cover the NFL.
Bird's the greatest guy ever, but his team.
Yeah.
Jackasses.
Right.
They were. I mean, they were nasty, man. They wanted. Of course, one thing that hurt is probably Sid going in there and charging out. Did you see what they said? Trying to use.
Well, your
whatever.
worst enemy as a reporter was a guy in your own paper.
Yes,
That
right.
was always puzzled me.
Yeah, that was not good.
But you and Studwell made up as time went on, did you not?
Yeah, it did. I think I kind of loosened it up when, because it was bad. And then he was working for the Vikings, and Rykow, who I loved, told me, "Hey, he's a great guy. He's as smart as you get." So when Sid introduced Bud, had introduced Bud at the Hall of Fame like the previous Saturday, and I went down to Mankato, and Scott was standing there watching, and I went up to him and pat him on the back, and said, he looked, and I said, "I just want you to know, if you get your just reward and are elected into Canton, I will be willing to make your speech. You're welcome, just as Sid did for Bud, and he said, "I appreciate that." So it was okay after that.
Did he ever get consideration for the Hall of Fame?
I don't think so.
Speaking of Cooperstown,
He's a damn good player.
Yes.
you're going this week.
I'm leaving Thursday and going to Toronto, taking a ride down there, staying in Utica Friday and Saturday, and coming, and then the ceremonies.
Why are you going to Toronto?
Yeah, I'm going with Sharkman. A friend of mine and I are driving down together. I just had to figure out. I didn't want to fly to Albany again. It drives me nuts. And try to figure out where to stay, and got a hotel in Utica because Cooperstown is
How far is
ridiculous.
Utica?
40 miles.
That's nothing.
No, it's not. It's fine. So we'll be there, and we'll, gonna hang out and do some goofy stuff, and
Yeah.
How far
When's the day of inauguration?
Sunday at 1:30.
Sunday at 1:30.
But it'll be a fairly long ceremony because we got 6 guys.
Yes.
Well, we got 6.
6.
Or wait, we got one. Who made it as a
Ortiz.
Ortiz? Oh yeah, Ortiz made it by vote, and then 6 guys by the various veterans committees. So
Jim's speech was great on Saturday, by the way. I thought it was really good.
and brevity too.
Yes.
Well, the guy's 83.
I know, but he's sharp.
Always sharp. He could be 60.
Right.
He's still as tall as he started
Right,
off.
he's not shrinking.
He's not getting smaller. He's not getting smaller, and he's in great shape.
I like too how he thanked all of the guys that were already in or already had their numbers retired too from the Twins. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, plus the great thing is, who's coming to see him at the Cooperstown? Jack McKeon.
Really?
Jack McKeon's got to be in his 90s. Was his first manager in the Twins in the Washington Senators system.
Then McKeon ended up in the major leagues, didn't he?
Managed a lot of years in Kansas City
Yeah.
and other places. But Billy Shorty Place. Was Shorty Place there Saturday?
I don't know.
I think Shorty Place who was a little left-hander who was on the original 61 team. Big buddy is. I think he's making it to Cooperstown. He got to be 90. And Mitterwald, was not remembered as his catcher here. He showed up as did they have him catch the ball, Mitterwald?
That part I didn't see, so I can't answer
but
that.
He had Mitterwald was his catcher in some of those years, and not a well-remembered superstar catcher, but a great guy. And Kott's got that kind of collection of guys. I did enjoy which I ended up writing the thing from Richie Allen's wife, Willa Allen. Called him up and congratulated him, because
Willa called Cott.
Because they were buddies. He and Dick Allen or Richie Allen were buddies in Chicago.
What an unusual pair that is.
I know, but Richie says was a great teammate, a hell of a guy. He just didn't like you people.
Right.
But Willa calls him up and just congratulates him. And Jim said, Willa, that there's 10 people on a ballot, and these people could only vote for 4. And you need 12 out of 16. And he said, if one of those ballots, because Richie Allen got 11, didn't get 12. He says, one of those ballots has your husband's name on it instead of mine. He's in, I'm out. Yeah. And she said, I still want to congratulate you, and Dick would want to congratulate you too. So
well, he's no longer with us.
No, Dick died in 2020. Everybody thought he was the guy who was a cinch.
Yep.
I'm thinking maybe they're saying, okay, Tony's still alive. Jim Kott's still alive. This is their last, let's
chance.
This time, in 3 years from now, Richie Allen will make it. So.
Did Mock ever have Dick Allen?
Oh yeah,
in Philly,
as
right?
As a kid, and that was the young, rambunctious Dick.
Right.
But he had him as a rookie. He had him and Don Money as these two phenomena. And Richie was a loose cannon, but he settled down later in life.
Did he?
So, yeah. But yeah, Mock was he disappeared on Mock in that first summer. He was went off for a week, and when he came back, he was a bit bedraggled when he came back. Mock told me that.
Richie liked the
Mock
heaters.
Loved him. Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Well, that's my on my Twitter account.
Yeah.
It's Richie
Oh,
smoking.
that's right. It is.
Richie juggling baseballs with the heat. That is when baseball was at its zenith.
Yep.
Smoking.
A guy smoking in the dugout, juggling base. That was an SI cover.
Yeah.
One of the great SI covers of all time. Of course, now, you know what? I like to see that Netflix for several years has, when it issues its warning, says, bestiality.
Yeah.
These are their, bestiality.
Child abuse.
Necrophilia, slaughter, and smoking.
Yeah.
Well, Amazon for years did not. They've started using smoking too.
Oh, boy,
they're
gotta
now
provide
giving
the
you
warning.
smoking too. You can't just, Netflix beat them to the punch. Amazon held out for several years, but now they're warning you that they're smoking too. Like a movie like Midnight Run, they should say lots of smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, really.
Oh, to the point where it's making me sick.
Yeah, excessive smoking. They should do something like that. So, anyhow,
Didn't McKeon, wasn't he the Marlins manager when they won the World Series?
yes, he was.
That's
wasn't
what I
he?
thought, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that when they bought the World Series and then
Was he the original Trader Jack? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Yeah, he did. He made a lot of trades. He was general manager.
The Padres?
And he was general manager, wasn't he?
Who was the great pitcher that Florida team had when they won the series?
Josh Beckett.
No, it wasn't Oil Can Boyd. He was Boston, right?
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
From Florida. You're talking about the Marlins.
Rotation. Beckett's a guy that pitched like crazy. But
Beckett won when they won the second one. When they won the first one, I think you're thinking of Levon Hernandez.
No,
Levon Hernandez, the
no,
Cuban.
I'm not.
Okay.
The Cuban with the strike zone like this.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Who was it? It was not Oil Can Boyd, whose name was, I think, Dennis Boyd. Shoot, I can't think of it.
Oh, three.
The hell of a
Marlins.
pitcher.
Yeah.
You got their roster up?
I'm trying to find it because they won it in '97, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, 1997 Florida Marlins.
That's the one they bought. The other one Beckett was the 2003 team.
Yeah, the 03 team with McKeon. He was their stud.
You got pitchers up yet?
Kevin Brown,
Nope.
Kevin.
Alex Fernandez,
Nope.
Al Leiter,
Nope.
Levon Hernandez.
Nope.
Well, that's all their starters,
That's it.
Joe.
No, you're wrong. You got the wrong team, Joe. But
Well, who am I thinking of?
I don't know who you're thinking of.
I guess I'll forget it then.
You know who else was on that 97 team? Your guy, Jim Eisenreich, was on that
yes,
team
easy. And he was on the Phillies in '93.
when they lost to Toronto. That's right.
That Philly, very reverent team. They
The
thought
poor
he was-
abuse he took in Boston.
Yeah. Oh God, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But his nickname in Philly, in the Phillies clubhouse, Dahmer. They thought he looked like Dahmer. So
Oh my God!
they were not a reverent bunch.
No. They
were
Kruk
not.
and Lenny Dykstra was
Darren Dalton.
insane.
What's the other Florida team that did well?
03.
Miami
Look up
and
that
Tampa.
roster.
Okay.
No, I got to get this now. It's
It's going to drive him insane.
Right, because maybe he was the 03 team. And if you mention the pitchers, I'll know it. I'm surprised
Well,
you
Beckett was the MVP of the World Series. That's why I thought you'd think of
wasn't
him.
Beckett.
All right, that team featured a rotation of Josh Beckett, Dontrell Willis.
That's the guy I'm thinking
Dontrell
of. Dontrell Willis.
Dontrell, yes,
Dontrell
way
Willis.
to go. One of
Thank
my
you.
favorite.
Thank you. I knew I was right.
One of my favorite TV they should have him on TV more
Yes,
often.
yes.
He is hilarious.
Yes.
He's a great guy too. And I told you the funniest thing I've ever heard on one of those panel shows is they show a tape of a left fielder, this guy hitting a home run and the left fielder just stands there.
Yep.
Doesn't make a move. And Dontrell goes nuts. He says, "You got to give me three courtesy steps.
Yeah.
When I serve up a home run, you can't do that. You got to give me three courtesy steps when a guy hits one like that.
You're not supposed to just stand there.
No, not. He said that happened to him once, and somebody hit one 900 feet.
I love this stat, too. The closer for that team, Pat will remember this, is Ugueth Urbina.
Yes.
He is the only player in Major League history with the initials UU or UUU. His baseball career, however, was cut short after the 2005 season
Kidnapping,
as he was
right?
arrested by Venezuelan
Oh,
authorities for attempted murder, for which he served 7 years in prison. But it was, exactly.
He was trying to kill a guy who attempted to kidnap
Who
him.
did kidnap his mother.
He's a family
Well, he's a
member.
good guy.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Well, he did get a guy killed. Yeah, he arranged to have a guy killed who tried to kidnap his mother to get money out
To
of him.
get $6 million in ransom money. I have it right
from
here.
him. Yeah. How can you get 7 years for that?
I don't know.
You should get somebody's warmest personal.
So he's
regards.
out now.
Well, he's probably
We
out
don't
by
know
now.
where he is,
Yeah.
but he's out.
Well, his baseball career is over, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
I was never considered that as a name for my kid, though. Ugath.
Ugath Urbina?
Doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound. That guy had good stuff, man.
Yeah, he
back
was a
then.
good closer.
Back then. I think that's enough, don't you?
I think so.
But first,
Brainerd. Week from this weekend, man. Motorcycle racing. Get out.
First, go up to Giants Ridge.
Yes.
do it
Then
both.
Go from Giants
There you
Ridge to
go.
Brainerd.
There you go.
See if you can roll it like Cameron Smith.
Giants Ridge, home to the two greatest golf courses in the state, the Legend and the Quarry. And now through July 29, play the Legend and the Quarry on the same day for one great fee with lunch on them at the Wakuta Grill, featuring the finest and most peaceful overlook in all of northern Minnesota. See that for yourself on 3D course flyovers of the Legend and the Quarry at giantsridge.com. Or if you're thinking of it as a family vacation destination, nearby water recreation, biking, hiking, the newest and largest lift-serve mountain bike park in the Midwest, dining, lodging, and much more. It's a tank up and a tank back.
Boom.
Huh? Might have to top it off somewhere, but that's
Maybe.
not much.
That's nothing.
That's not much.
I have to plug something here.
Yeah, I'm not done with this
before we
yet.
sign off.
Well, I know, but you can't plug something in the middle of this ad.
Well, I'm supporting the ad fully, having
right.
played both those golf courses.
right.
They're terrific.
All right.
But,
Well, you can make your tee time online, Pat, at 218-865-8030 or go to giantsridge.com.
Pat would endorse a live tour stop at Giants Ridge.
I wrote a column for tomorrow that's already been posted
Yeah.
on when the Louis brought Frankie Musil back from Czechoslovakia.
Hit him in the trunk, didn't he?
No, he did not. They were going to consider that. But what you and I both have forgotten was Channel 5 went with Louis.
That's right.
Bob Bruce
Yep.
and Denny, the photographer,
Yep.
went with and Joe Schmidt dug up a video clip of them being on the plane.
No.
And that's if you read my thing on online, obviously.
StarTribune.com?
They posted the video with the permission of Hubbard. They have posted the video clip of them being on the Concorde together.
Really?
The Concorde. Bruce, I talked to Bruce, who's now in Scottsdale and Pittsburgh, and he's in the investment business with his son. But he escaped toads when they were going to kidnap
Right,
him.
right.
Remember that?
Yep.
But
Terrorist organization against disgusting sports.
but he calls up. First of all, they go to Stan and Big Stan and say, "Should we do this?" And he says, "Hockey,
Yeah.
First of all, it's '86. It's the Majors era, so things are going pretty damn good." And they said, "Yeah, but now they get to New York. No, now they get to London."
Right.
And Louis got 3 tickets on the Concorde for himself, Musil, and Musil's agent,
Right.
Rich Winter. And so they got to call up and say, you got to call up Big Stan and say, "What do you want to do? $2,400 a pop." Put them on the plane.
Really?
They flew on the Concorde. And Robbie Lear had arranged all this. And then Bruce came down from meeting with Stan to leave the trip and said they want me to go instead of you. And so there's video of Bob sipping champagne on the Concorde with the crew. And Schmidt says, if you want to get Robbie Lear worked up, show
Just
him
mention that.
Yeah. So anyway, this column has something about the Hubbard.
I'll
Hubbard's
link that
approving
to
this
the
trip.
Sports Talk post for today's show
Yeah,
if people want to
it's
click on
good.
that.
It's
Fantastic.
we got a little Channel 5 action in there. So
All right.
anyway, That's it. Patrick Racy for the Canopy Group. As you set out to explore Minnesota this summer, think about this. I didn't even know this. There are 234 cities in Minnesota with a population over 2,500, and the Canopy Group has clients in all but 7 of those. Why is this fact important? Because the Canopy Group's experience in all those Minnesota cities gives them a unique edge in getting you the best home and auto insurance coverage at the best price. Remember, the Canopy Group offers 16 insurance companies for a reason. That's to match your specific situation for your area with the absolute best insurance company for you. This is done every year because your specific situation may change. This experience working throughout Minnesota provides thousands of Canopy Group clients the peace of mind that knowing that Canopy Group is working for them. Please visit thecanopygroup.com today. You have heard me discuss my relationship with Josh Arnold for some time. The reason I advocate that you give Josh a call is simple. Trust and results. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions. As has been said through all of our relationship, past results do not guarantee future returns. And while that is true, Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. You can understand that Josh will make sure you are not paying more in fees than you are seeing in returns. Yes, that is more common than you would like to think. Do yourself a favor and have a booking with Josh for the 48-minute free evaluation. This is a no-obligation meeting. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. You will be glad that you did.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Royce is a paid endorser.